Check, check, 1, 2. Pretty good levels, I'm liking this.
Welcome everyone to this round 3 clash of the National Premier League's Queensland between the Gold Coast Knights and Olympic FC. The grand final rematch. These two sides, of course, meeting with the last game of the season last year, as it'll be Olympic searching for redemption. Or will it be the Knights who'll get their season off to the perfect start? I'm Jared Neck and I'm going to be covering this game for you this evening. We're down here at the Croatian Sports Centre. Can tell you conditions are nigh on perfect here for this Saturday night football encounter. Slight breeze, currently sitting on a tick over 25 degrees. So no excuses for both of these sides out there today. As we've got the Knights in their red strip and Olympic in their away dark blue, navy blue strip. And it will be that man who scored last week to get us underway this evening, Olaide Yinka Kahinde. As this game is well and truly underway now. Olympic with the first use of the football. Forward it goes out on that far side, the cutback almost finding Yinka Kahinde, and eventually the Knights see it out for an early corner to Olympic. So early pressure from the visitors, as it looks like it's Daniel Leck out on that far side who'll look to whip a ball in. Plenty of numbers in the middle for him to aim at. And it goes from Leck. Might be a set piece almost. Finding the feet of Mundy. Eventually cleared away on that occasion by the Knights defender. Nichols in there. Mitch Nichols just announced pre-game as the captain for the Knights for season 2020. For the former A-League star, of course, he's had a host of clubs that he's been at. Early throw in here. Finds the feet of Brown. Brown looking for the runner forward. Picked off by the Olympic defender. Costa Saros out there, in fact, to pick the ball up. Makes its way out to Walker. Back to Wellsmore. Very different looking centre-back pairing, of course, with no Matt Smith. That late transfer to Brisbane City, as we see the ball played in from Walker, but comfortably held on to by Lockie Hunter. For Olympic, yes, no Matt Smith and no Oscar Dillon, of course, as he has departed for the A-League. As here's Lofthouse, exciting run from him. We know what he's capable of. Nichols, a loose touch from him. Was looking for Yinka Kahinde, strong challenge coming in from him on Wellsmore there. Throw in now for Walker. Just beneath our broadcast position here at the Croatian Sports Centre. There's the header of Brown. Ito. Ito does well in the end. Gets the ball. He's got Yinka Kahinde to his left if he wants. Eventually he uses him. Nice link-up play between the two. Ito gets into the box. His touch just let him down as he looks back at the pitch. And eventually that ball going out for a goal kick to the Knights, as they're keen to get on with things early. Knights go into this match as favourites. The bookies have them at favourites, I can tell you that. But it's going to be tough. They are yet to play a game this season, and the Knights and the Olympics, sorry, they're already up and running with the 2 games. So they've already been able to see how things work, whereas the Knights are just testing things out for the first time tonight. This is nice movement. Here is Nichols, captain as I mentioned. There's Leck playing it to the Olympic captain in Lassam. Out to Ito. Leck wanted that ball played early, but Ito opted against that. And now he's given the ball away there, Ito, much to the frustration of his teammate in Daniel Leck, the former Brisbane Roar man. Back in Queensland after a stint in the Victorian Premier League. On his day, Daniel Leck is a sensational player, I can tell you that. And here's Brown going forward for the Knights. Does well. Still goes Brown. Kamano there. Misses it first time. Brown gets a shot away. It's well wide of the mark. Hitting the corner flag, in fact, out on that far side. Exciting stuff, though, from the Knights. Number 10 in Max Brown. Skipping around James Kumaneo in the box. Still the Knights look to keep possession, but well seen out on that occasion for a goal kick to Olympic. Here's Matt Mundy, the former Raw player himself. Looking to just get some possession, our Olympic. Both sides struggling with that in these early exchanges. Leck looking to take on Nichols. Can't do so. And the Knights captain has done well. Of course, as soon as I say that, he's given the ball away to Lassam. There's Leck again. Better from Olympic. In it goes. Not going to test the Knights on that occasion, with Josh Langdon coming for a big, strong claim. Both sides just feeling each other out. It has been the Knights that have had the wood over Olympic. They've actually never lost to Olympic in a competitive match. Last season, the grand final, of course, getting the victory that day, but also they won in round 30 last season, 4-2, and then a 3-3 draw in round 15. So they'll feel confident going into this match. Nichols, Brown just looking for the audacious flick over from him. Lassam to Leck. It's a bit untidy from both sides, you've got to say, but now Lassam feeding the runner out wide in Saros. Costa Saros looking to take on the nice defender, gets it to the byline, cuts it back. It's a dangerous ball, and in the end it's Wellsmore that had to put it behind for a corner. Second corner to Olympic for the match. Nice play out on that far side by Costa Saros. He's one of 3 players coming into the starting lineup tonight, with Ben Kahn making 3 changes. I'll get to them in a second as we have the corner whipped in. There's Kumaneo. Cleared away momentarily, only as far as Lassam though. To Mundy as Ito leaves it for him. Back to Ito. It's good pressing from the Knights. They've forced them all the way back to Hunter, and they're still pressing. Are they going to get out of this, Olympic? It'll be impressive if they do so. That ball, fortunately for Olympic, finds the feet of Yinka Kahinde, but he's frustrated with himself, the former Holland Park man, as he gives the ball away cheaply. Yes, Olympic making 3 changes, with Saros, Danny Driver and James Kumaneo coming into the starting lineup, making way for them. Shelford Deus, Jack Glover and Prashida Pojal on the bench. So well and truly ringing the changes, Ben Kahn, after the 1-1 draw with Eastern Suburbs last weekend. Here's Nichols now, claims for handball, not given though, and he can't believe it. It wasn't given first time, but the referee must have got a word from his assistant As eventually he does give the free kick in a dangerous position for the Knights. What can they deliver from this set piece? Looks like it's Nichols and Schmidt over it. Plenty of numbers to aim at in the middle. McQuarse's up there. Brown. And the new signing, Henvey. It is Schmidt. In it goes. Headed away by Mundy. Only as far as Panetta. Back out to Walker he goes. The ball from Hoffman. Finds the feet of their new signing, McQuarse. Dispossessed though. And here's Olympics new signing, Yinka Kahinde. Neither side able to hold onto the ball for long passages of play at the moment. Still early days though. And I guess you've probably got to expect that in the early part of the season, with this being the Knights' first competitive match this season. Panetta was looking for the feet of Brown, but he's turned it over. Here's Lofthouse. Looking for his second goal this season is Jez Lofthouse after scoring in that round one win over the other Gold Coast team, Gold Coast United. Back to Lassam it goes. Mundy getting some touches. Disappointing from him. Pass it to Nichols. Nichols tries a shot from long range. Is it just over from Nichols? Well, that's what a player of Mitch Nichols brings you. He sees things that other players might not. And the experience that he has to try the shot from there. And he plays the ball through. It's not a bad one as well. Can tell you it's Henvey. Henvey to Brown. There's the ball back across. McQuarse's the onside. His offside flag does go up. But it was a beautiful passage of play from the Knights that draws the round of applause from the home fans here, rightly so. Just starting to get into their groove are the Gold Coast Knights. Almost like that shot from Mitch Nichols has sparked them into action. Few of their new signings combining there with Henvey and McQuarse both involved. But Olympics survived that scare. Here's Mundy now. If that shot from Nichols had gone in, we would have had a very early contender for goal of the season, and would have been tough to beat that attempt. Forward it goes from Ito. He wasn't just quite on the same wavelength there as Yinka Kahinde, as he wanted it played short. Ito went for the longer ball and they turn it over. Walker to that man McQuarse, the former Lions man, of course. Back to Wellsmore. Just starting to get into the groove are the Knights, you feel. Forward it goes out to Panetta. Knights happy to retreat for the meantime. And here's Morton back out to Walker. Plenty of touches for the fullback. He turns it over though. Nice from Lassam. Finds Yinka Kahinde. We know what pace he's got. Can he get around Wellsmore? He does well initially, Wellsmore. Nice switch across, but it's terrific covering back there on that occasion from Matt Schmidt to save the day. Otherwise, Costa Saros, his eyes would have lit up and he would have been in on goal. This game just starting to have a bit more free-flowingness to it, as both sides are feeling each other out. Here's Walker now. To McQuarse again. Nice little cheeky nutmeg on Lofthouse. How about that? It's usually Lofthouse doing that to players. Lassam asks a bit of Lofthouse, but he's up to that, keeps it in. Here he goes, Jez Lofthouse. Similar position to where he scored that first goal. I think he wanted a penalty there, in fact. He stayed on his feet. He asked the question as well, does Jez Lofthouse? His claims fall on deaf ears, though, as Nichols gives it away cheaply. Here's Leck finding himself in the middle of the park. Lassam feeding it to Schmidt. Sorry, that's Saros. Here's Makwase now. Back to Nichols. He'll be disappointed with that ball he gave away cheaply because the Knights might have had a bit of a countering opportunity. And that's a Walker again. Ball comes in, there's a chance, huge chance, it's Henvey in there in fact. Brought that down beautifully, still could be a chance though. Mundy does well, dispossesses Brown. Looks to feed Yinka Kahinde, but they get the ball back to the Knights. Ball played forward, looking for Henvey again. It's brilliant. Tracking back from Hoffman. Sorry, it was Tyson back there. Here's Leck now. Nice solid challenge there on that occasion between Daniel Leck and Danny Morton, as it's going to be Olympic getting the throw in their favour. 15 minutes gone here at the Croatian Sports Centre. Neither side able to break the deadlock yet, but the Knights have had the better of the chances. Mundy just looking for runners ahead of him. He thought about playing in Lofthouse. Opts for a more central approach in Leck. Here is Leck running at the Knights defenders. Leck gets it again. Ball back across. Here's Yinka Kahinde. It's Wellsmore in there. Still falls to Leck. Still he goes Leck. And the ball eventually going out over the bar line. But exciting play from the former Brisbane Raw man. Linking up with The light towers now are back on, so we should be good to go again very shortly, as the referee's just having a chat to figure out what exactly they are going to do about it. So the scoreboard has been switched on now, so we're now in the 22nd minute. I guess we'll just play on, and then there'll be at least 5 minutes, you'd think, of injury time to play out this first half. Well, it is well and truly all happening here at the Croatian Sports Centre. Power restored. Time to get this contest back underway. Both sides, I'm sure, wouldn't really complain as they have had the chance to have a quick breather. Wouldn't expect them to be at the peak of their fitness, as what they will be as the season goes on. Not that it's a overly warm night here. Shade under 25 degrees at the moment, as we are back underway. Eventually, and it is Henvey going forward. Cleared away to Lassam. From Martin out to Lofthouse. Jez Lofthouse, will he run at Walker? Thinks about it. Darts this way, that way. Challenge coming in. Back to Ito it goes. Ito looking for the switch to Saros. It's a beautiful ball out wide. Here is Costa Saros. Into the box he goes. There's the cutback. Lofthouse buries it. It is 1-0 to Olympic. Power restored. And Olympic are up 1-0. The power couldn't have gone out at a better time, as we've only played just over 2 minutes since it goes back on, and Lofthouse makes it 2 goals for the season for him. He still had a bit to do, but he was able to pick his spot beautifully and bury it. And it is the visitors 1-0 up. Game on well and truly, as it looked like the Knights were starting to show some promise. Here's Kumaneo, puts it out. Quick throw in to Morton, back to Wellsmore. Well, it was Costa Saros with the cutback. It fell ever so fortunately to Lofthouse, and a player of his quality was never going to miss. But now the Knights going forward through Nichols. Nichols, the ball back. Chance there, eventually they see it out. It was Panetta in amongst there, tossling with Danny Driver. Quick corner taken by Nichols. All the way back to Wellsmore, out to Walker. Walker's got Hoffman on the right if he chooses. Goes more the central approach to Wellsmore. Nichols just dropping back in the hole. Brown with the flick on. It might fall, fortunately, to Makwase. Ito's back there. He's got to be careful. He does well in the end. Thought for a second there was going to be a nervy moment from the Japanese playmaker, but he was able to see it out. Here's Makwase. Back to Walker. To Brown. Wants to try get the shot away. Can't do so. Strong challenge coming in there from Morton, as it's another throw in to the Knights. Makwase again, starting to get a few more touches, the new signing. Hoffman. Out wide it goes, back more centrally now. Disappointing ball from Morton. Not sure what he was looking for after he got the pass from Matt Schmidt. Throw in now to Olympic, who are 1-0 to the good. Leck. hemmed in their own half, the visitors. Martin puts his foot through it to Saros, who created that goal that Lofthouse eventually buried. Back to Wellsmore. Nichols again, just dropping deeper. Again, I'm sure he'll want to get the ball in a more attacking position because we know what he can do in front of goals despite only scoring the 1 goal last season. But here's Brown into the box. Max Brown gets a shot away, just wide of the mark. From the Knights midfielder, Max Brown had beautiful shape to it, just wide, just wouldn't quite curl enough into that top corner. But Olympic have been put on warning. Because we know what Max Brown is capable of, the 2019 Team of the Year member last season. Leck does well, Danny Leck. Now to Ito. Kazuya Ito. Still he goes, Ito. Opens up a little bit for him. Dinko the trop looking for Leck. Off his line though. On that occasion was Langdon, who did well. They have brought in a few quality signings, you got to say, Olympic. Just break away from that because Saros running again at the Knights defence. Might think about teaming up with Lofthouse. It's disappointing ball and Walker picks it off. Looks around and see if Lofthouse is behind him and goes forward. The ball looking for Henvey. Off his line is Hunter. Does well. Cool, calm and collected in the end from Lockie Hunter, you've got to say. Mundy's got to be careful. Lassam with the turn. Nice turn initially, but his touch was a little heavy. Here's Brown, who had that chance a moment ago. Dinked over the top. He was looking for Nichols. May have been offside anyway, but too much on it from Max Brown. Brown might have been better to go himself after we saw what he could do earlier on with that shot. Just wide of the goal. Well, for me, this season and these two clubs out here tonight are going to be neck and neck throughout this season. That's just my prediction at least. So it's so exciting that we get to see them so early on in the season. I'm sure the Knights wouldn't have expected to be playing their first game against Olympic after those 2 games that were postponed, but here we are. What can you do about Mother Nature? Here's Walker. Touch is a loose one from Makwase. Kumaneo back there. Walker sees it out. Another throw in. Here's Morton again. Now to Hoffman. Nichols really dropping into that deep role, almost playing as a number 6. And then eventually pressing forward as he's doing so here. Here is Schmidt. Nice link-up play between he and Nichols. Henvey's in there. They see it clear, and now Olympic. Chance to counter. Leck opting against that and playing it straight over the sideline in the end as we have half an hour played here at the Croatian Sports Centre. If you're just joining us, we did have a power outage. Just break away from that as we have Panetta going forward. Mundy eventually gets a challenge in this time, and he's bearing down on Walker. Quick throw in from Walker to Morton, getting plenty of touches. The Knights midfielder. Nichols likewise. Here's Panetta. His touch letting him down. Smart ball played across to Lofthouse, and he gives the ball away cheaply. So a little bit scrappy here just after the half-hour mark. Yes, if you are just joining us, did have a slight power outage just before the 20th minute mark. And then only a matter of minutes later, Olympic scored through Jez Lofthouse to go 1-0 up after an exciting run from Costa-Saros out on that far right-hand side. Well and truly out for redemption tonight, our Olympic, after going down in that grand final. Here's Walker. Nichols. Turns it over to Lassam. Got Yinka Kahinde there if he wants. Not on the same wavelength as Leck or Lofthouse on that occasion, and now the Knights go forward. Brilliant ball delivered through. There's Mitch Nichols. Eventually giving away the foul on Kumaneo. He did dive in on Lockie Hunter. I don't think that that's what the free kick was given for, though. It was the late one as Nichols followed through on Kumaneo. Beautiful ball played through to the Knights skipper, though. Hunter has recovered, though, from that. Schmidt and Saros. What a duel that is going to be out on that far side tonight. Throw in to the Knights. Wellsmore gets it from Hoffman. Morton. Back to Hoffman again. The 25-year-old. Here's Makwase. Thinks about taking on Leck. Going this way, that way. Leck does well in the end, though, to just hold him up. Force him back. Long switch from Hoffman, finding the feet of Walker. What about that for a first-time ball to Panetta? Looking for support is Panetta. Back it goes, almost from Morton. Schmidt again, thinks about the shot. They stand off him, plays it to Makwase instead. Heavily marked is Jessa Makwase. Here's Mitch Nichols, gets a shot away, bobbling around. Was a tough one for Hunter, but he held on to it. It did go straight to him, but took it. Tricky bounce right in front of him, and he was up to the task. Lockie Hunter, the former Brisbane Roar youth player and young Socceroos squad member. Speaking of Roar, here's another former Roar player in Matt Mundy. Header from Walker. Panetta, well, he kept the ball in, but kept it in to Kumaneo in the end. Here's Lofthouse linking up with Kumaneo, who's slightly more advanced than what he usually is. Leck looking for the ball out on this near side, but intercepted by Walker. Makwase gets it from Nichols. He's got Schmidt to his left if he wants. Goes more centrally, Makwase. Does well with the one-on-one with Lofthouse. Uses Brown. What about that for a turn, Max? Brown hits it. It's a great save in the end from Lockie Hunter. Well, that would have surely been one of the goals of the round if that had gone in. What a beautiful looking turn from Max Brown. Got the shot away. Couldn't beat Lockie Hunter, though, as they play it short, the Knights. Schmidt, Panetta. Uses Schmidt again. Does well, Schmidt. Into the box he goes. Tries a shot. Deflected, and it falls ever so fortunately for Lofthouse, who's got Mitch Nichols for attention. He's got to get past him. Still he goes, Lofthouse. Nichols eventually back there, and the free kick given against the Knights skipper. For the tugging back of the shirt on Jez Lofthouse, the goal scorer. Started his Golden Boot aspirations off brilliantly this season, has Jez Lofthouse. 2 in 3 already, and we've still got plenty of action to play here tonight for him to add to that tally. Hoffman finds Wellsmore again. The runs forward from Brownie, opts for Panetta instead. Walker, Brown with the chest down. Strong coming together between he and Ito. Throw in goes the way of the Knights, as they're happy to retreat. So we have just under 10 minutes of the first half to play. That is regulation time. You've got to expect there to be quite a few minutes of injury time due to that power outage. Ball from Makwase was looking for Henvey. And Morton with the errant kick forward, but a chance for the Knights to hem Olympic back in their own half. Ito across to take the throw in. Here's the Olympic skipper in Lassam. Mundy now. Schmidt picks that ball off impressively. Makwase. Nice play on that occasion from Driver, but they've given the ball away. Have Olympic, and now Brown fires it in the back of the net. What about that for a goal from Max Brown to level the scores before half-time? A pile driver. He's had a couple of siders, and finally he beats Hunter in goals, this time with his right foot. A rocket from Max Brown. And just like that, we're all level here. Didn't the home fans love that? A sensational strike. I said a moment ago that if that previous shot he had gone in, it might have been a goal of the round contender. Well, I can assure you that will be. Nothing Hunter could do about that. And Max Brown levels the score. What a time to get a goal as well, just before half-time, as it's well and truly game on here at the Croatian Sports Centre. Here's Martin finding Yinka Kahinde as Olympic look to go forward. It's nice from him. Saros finding the feet of Leck. He's in the box. Got to be careful to the Knights defenders. They see it out. It's going to come back in though as they turn it over. Nichols on the ball, just looking for Panetta to run onto that. Ito trying to defend him. Panetta, the cut back, and Mundy's got to be careful. That ball could have gone anywhere, but really well played in the end from the Olympic defender in Matt Mundy. Corner though for the Knights now just before half time, as it looks like it's going to be Schmidt across to take, with Panetta leaving it for him. Short corner taken instead to Nichols. There's the back heel. Beautiful link-up play. Panetta to the byline. There's a cutback. Here is Schmidt. Weaving, dancing, gets a shot away. Mundy again there to clear. It's going to come back in though. Makwase wants the ball. Looks like it's Hoffman out on that far side. Brown, the goal scorer, gives it away cheaply to Lassam, and now Olympic will want to counter, and want to counter quickly because they know they've got pace, and this is one of those players that does have pace. Jez Lofthouse got Ito if he wants. Lofthouse goes himself, fends off one challenge, still he goes Lofthouse. Walker eventually coming to the rescue, making an important challenge, because if he had a got around him, Lofthouse, he might have been in on goal. This is the sort of free-flowing football that we've come to love in the NPL. This is why the fans turn out in numbers. A healthy gallery in attendance here tonight. Obviously nothing like we saw in the grand final, but still a healthy attendance. And they're witnessing what has been a stellar game so far. Mundy looking for the run of Saros. Too much on it from him. But he's been impressive, Matt Mundy. Wouldn't go as far as to say keeping his side in it, but he has made a few crucial interceptions and challenges to ensure it stays at 1-1. Ben Khan won't want his side to go in. 1 goal down after such a promising start, getting that opening goal. Here's Panetta, finding the goal scorer in Brown. Back out to Walker, who finds himself forward. To the byline he gets. Can't get it past Kumaneo though. There's Lassen, just wanting players to come to the ball. They ran away from the ball as he's remonstrating with Elida Yinka Kahinde. Step up from him, from the FQPL. Former Holland Park man. He's got speed to burn, I can tell you that. Between he and Lofthouse, they scored 12 goals in the preseason. Plenty of goals in them two, and an exciting pairing. Once they get firing, they could be anything. But for the meantime, it's the Knights on the ball. Walker. Back to Wellsmore, who's had plenty of touches in this first half. Schmidt. McQuarse. The little dink over the top is nice. To Nichols. Can't get it past Leck. To Driver. Got to be careful. They've turned it over really cheaply. McQuarse, the cutback. Kumaneo's there. Gee, they've got to be careful, Olympic. Giving the ball away really cheaply from Driver. Nichols, can they make them pay? The Knights. To Walker. Ball back across from him. McQuarse's there. It is 2. He's onside. The new signing, Jesse McQuarse from Lions, gives them the advantage. They go 2-1 up just before half time. And you wonder how many goals he's going to score. In the red, white and blue, Jesse McQuarse. Nice play from Walker. He could have blazed away and even had the shot. Opted against that, did the team thing. Across it came. Olympic couldn't deal with it. And McQuarse gets the second goal and puts the Knights 2-1 up. As I just said a moment ago, Ben Khan would not have wanted that before half-time, but now it'll be Gray Pittick, the Knights coach, going into half-time well and truly the happier man after being 1-0 down, courtesy of this man on the ball, Jez Lofthouse. Turns it over to Brown. Here's Henvey, the Scottish import. Actually made his debut for Dundee against Celtic, believe it or not. Has been a little quiet in this first half, but still plenty of time left to see more of him as Panetta rides one challenge. Still he goes, Panetta into the box, a nice run from him. There's a cutback from that man. Henvey puts it just wide. Well, of course, as soon as I say he's been a little quiet, he pops up and nearly proves me very, very wrong by scoring a goal, but it's a corner nevertheless. Nichols to whip this ball in just before half-time. Will he go short? He's got Panetta there. He opts for the short one to Schmidt instead. Schmidt finds himself just wide. from the fullback. Had good shape to it, that shot. But Hunter had his angles covered and was never worried. As they breathe a sigh of relief, do the visitors. They'll want to get into the sheds with just being the one goal down. Martin Nichols with the pressure. He wants another one. Nice ball from Hunter, finding Mundy, but runs into trouble. Panetta finding Henvey. It's a nice ball from him. Here is Matt Henvey. The layoff back to Panetta. Strikes it. Hits the crossbar. Still could be a chance. Makwase, ball bobbling around. Driver just puts his boot through it and gets it clear. It might have even been a miraculous save in the end from Hunter. I think he got his fingertips to it. Denying Panetta, who can't believe that he hasn't found the back of the net. Nichols, nice ball over the cross. Henry, well, he was onside. He just hit the back of his head as he turned away momentarily from the ball. Leck, he's got Saros that way if he wants out on the far side. He uses him. It's brilliant vision from Daniel Leck. Here is Saros. He's done this once before. This time it's too close, and Langdon shields the ball. As we can't have too much longer left in this first half. A first half that has flown by, with the minor exception of the power outage. But in terms of the football we've seen, it's been at a high standard considering it is only round one, and it's been really entertaining. Makwase now out on this near side, momentarily swapped, feeds Brown. Brown's got Henvey in the middle. Early ball across. Hunter off his line smartly. End-to-end stuff at the moment, just before half-time. Mundy, can they pinch one Olympic themselves before half-time? Oh, Yinka Kahinde, I think he thought Wellsmore was going to just see that out. Full of confidence, opted against that. Here's Nichols right in the middle of the park. Ball through for Henvey, who is onside. Matt Henvey into the box. He goes looking to skip around Kumaneo, who's held him up well. He's done really well there, in fact, Kumaneo, because that was a promising chance from the Knights. Beautiful ball through, I might add, as well, from Mitch Nichols. He's had a stellar first half. The Knights skipper. Lassam, the Olympic skipper. Now to Driver. Saros. Have they got one more chance in them before the half's out? Kumaneo. Can't be long left in this first half. Out to Lofthouse, who they've left free. Plays in Ito, looking for the link-up play. Walker does ever so well. He's had a stellar half. The Knights fullback. Back to Leck. To Lassett. Plenty of room in the middle of the park at the moment, as the Knights just looking to go in with that one-goal advantage. Mundy spots the run of Lofthouse. Brilliant ball from him. Here is Lofthouse. Skips around one challenge, gets a shot away. It's over from Lofthouse, but danger signs. We know what he is capable of. Similar position to where he scored that goal in round one. This time he took it on the left, opting for that, then the cutback on the right, and over from him. There's Langdon, in no rush to take this goal kick, as of course the Knights have that 2-1 advantage. Forward it goes from him. Mundy with the header. Puts it out. After the half started off so promisingly for Olympic, they're going to find themselves 2-1 down, you would think, going into the sheds at half-time. As right on cue, there is the half-time whistle. An exciting first half we've seen here at the Croatian Sports Centre. It was Jess Lofthouse who got the opener But goals from Max Brown with a special strike, which we'll see throughout the week. Cancelled that out, and then their new signing, Jessen McQuarrie, getting the second. As we go into half-time, it is the Gold Coast Knights leading Olympic 2-1.
Time the cross, a towering header.
The keeper's out, the net's open!
Some people can't hide their passion. Don't hide yours. Join our team.
When you're smiling, when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you.
Happiness is knowing you'll find the perfect vehicle every time. Thrifty, smiles all the way.
We swear a lot at Total Tools. We swear by our range. We swear by our service. And of course, we swear by our prices. So you'll know that you're buying at the best price every day. Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
Welcome back, everyone, to this round 3 clash of the National Premier League's Queensland competition. It is Knights who were 2-1 to the good after going down 1-0 to a nicely converted strike from Jez Lofthouse. They quickly bounced back with an absolute rocket from Max Brown, and then a second from Jason McQuarrie, their new signing from Lions FC. And if you are just tuning in, we also had a slight power outage that probably put us behind by about 5 minutes. Also, if you are wondering if you were watching and why the stream did cut out. But both sides are back on the pitch and ready for this second half, this crucial second half. Olympic a chance to go 2 wins from 3 games and undefeated, or will, and some redemption as well for that grand final loss, or will the Knights get their season off to a perfect start as they have the ascendancy at the minute. Probably took a solid 15 minutes for both sides to really find their touch and string some meaningful passes together. And it was the Knights who were able to well and truly capitalise, and here's Schmidt as we're underway in this second half. All the way out to Walker, who had a busy first half contending with Jez Lofthouse as they on the move forward. Here is the goal scorer in Brown. Max Brown to the byline, he goes. Kumaneo had to be really careful, and he was just chesting the ball down and seeing it out for a corner. Could have gone anywhere, could have hit him anywhere as well. He did really well, Kumaneo, as he did so a few times in that first half. As Matt Schmidt in no rush to take this early corner to start the second half off with. Short it goes to Nichols, who got plenty of touches in the first half. Schmidt, far post, there's a chance. It was Hoffman just lurking at the back post. Couldn't bend his foot around it enough as he put the ball wide. The Knights centre back, Roman Hoffman. Olympic survives that scare. Kumaneo now. Happy to concede possession are the Knights. Driver with the loose touch to Brown, and Panetta wants it played early. Just had the wrong curl on it from Brown as Ito keeps the ball in to Lofthouse. Now to Martin again. Looking for the feet of Saros. Hoffman across. First time ball played. Yinka Kahinde, nice turn and hit. Saved by Langdon as the Knights look to get it clear. What a turn that was from their new signing in Yinka Kahinde. Still could be a chance though for Olympic. There's Nichols and Walker back there to see things out. Beautiful turn from Yinka Kahinde. Nice shot as well, but Langdon up to the task. Here's Lassam, the Olympic captain, looking for the run of Yinka Kahinde. He just halted on his rung as he knew he was going to be offside, and that's what forced the ball wide of him, or more advanced of him, I should say, allowing Wellsmore in. Throw in now for the Knights. Walker and Brown teaming up. Not on the same wavelength with McQuarrie. Monday has a swing at it, but misses it. Nice ball from Nichols to find Brown. Mundy keen to atone for his error, and he's done so. Solid challenge from Matt Mundy. Back to Langdon. Finds Morton. Plenty of room in the middle of the park for him. Makwase, who just prodded the goal home in the first half after the ball was delivered in by that man who just got the ball in Jaden Walker. Really team-first approach rather than blazing away. Delivered a beautiful ball to Makwase. Bit scrappy to start this first half. Similar to what we saw in the first half. Ito out on that far side to Mundy. Touch letting him down, but he's made up for his error. Well done, Mundy. Commentator's curse as he gives the ball away, and Langdon will settle. Schmidt, 2019 Team of the Season member. He's done well there, Lassam, to dispossess Panetta. Here's Leck, he's got Lofthouse to his left. He uses him. What's Lofthouse got this time? This way, that way, and Lofthouse gets the shot away. It's side netting in the end. He had Langdon worried. Jez Lofthouse, he's such a tricky customer. Similar position he found himself in the first half. He opted to do some trickery and take the strike on his left foot. This time cutting inside and on the right foot and nearly catching Langdon out. Nichols with the ball forward to Brown, and I'm not sure what he saw out there, to be honest. But he's had a stellar game so far. One of the Olympic goal scorers, Max Brown, could have had a handful. As we see a late challenge coming in. I think it was Mundy who was late. He's having a few words with the referee as well. Looks like it's Morton down on the deck for the Knights, back up to his feet, so he's A-OK now. The Knights midfielder. As Nichols can deliver the ball into the boxes. Referee just has a few words to Matt Mundy. Might be his final warning before going into the referee's notebook. As we'll wait for this free kick to be delivered in. Goes short, Nichols. Here's Hoffman. To Makwase. There's Olympic just trying to force the Knights back, and they've given the ball away cheaply, have the Knights. Here's Lofthouse. Will he run at Walker? Which way will he go as well? He goes to the byline. Lofthouse cut back, but catching practice for Langdon. As he releases Panetta quickly. Nice little flick from him. Finds Brown. Henvey wants the ball played early. Is he onside, Henvey? He is onside. Cut back from him. Can't get it past Martin, as this game is stretched at the minute. Ito. He's given the ball away cheaply as he apologises to his teammates. Yinka Kahinde, you can see he's frustrated. He just wants some service. We know what he's done in the Queensland Premier League. What can he do in the NPL though? Panetta to Nichols. Nichols finding himself in a wider position. Back to Hoffman. Hoffman's got Schmidt out on the far side. He uses him. To Makwase. Schmidt goes. Makwase riding one challenge, two challenge. Into the box he goes. They want the penalty. It's not given though. We play on. Here is Nichols. Mitch Nichols lines up the shot. It's Mitch Nichols. Long range effort from the Knights skipper. Puts them 3-1 up. You could see him just lining it up. And he says to Brown, whatever you can do, I can do better. That is another sensational strike here from another Knights player, this time the former A-League man in Mitch Nichols. Not only did he have the power behind it, but he also even placed it in that bottom right-hand corner, with Hunter unable to keep it out. Now the visitors well and truly backs to the wall job. Can they lift? Lassam. They'll be hurt from the grand final. They won't give this game up straight away. You just know that. Here's Saros now. Looking for the switch. It's a nice one to Lofthouse. Still he goes Lofthouse. Back to Leck. Finds himself central. Back to Mundy. Does well initially, Mundy. Still does well. Gets the shot away himself. And he was looking for a spectacular Matt Monday. Well over from him though. Did well to even get the shot away with him tussling with the Knights players for the ball. Here's Panetta now, running forward for the host. Lassam with the challenge. Does well, Phil Lassam. Now to Lofthouse, who's got a bit of room in front of him. Not too many times he gets this, but he's got three players there for attention. Lays it off to Leck. Here's Saros with the flick. It's nice. Leck there. Just a little too tight and compact from Olympic. But it was some skillful play. Kumaneo manages to keep the ball in. Switch out to Schmidt, just too far advanced of him. Saros now. What have Olympic got? You know they're not just gonna go away and leave this game as it is. They will give everything. Kumaneo, forward it goes. Turning over possession cheaply though. Free kick against Saros right underneath our broadcast position here on Matt Schmidt. As we'll just quickly go through the other scores in the NPL. Moreton Bay leading the Magpie Crusaders 2-1 in the 60th minute. Brisbane City leading the Strikers 1-0 in the 62nd minute. That's half time as East and Gold Coast United are drawing 1-0. Break away from that because here's Henvey. Out to Walker from fullback. Looking to feed in Brown, but they turn it over. Now Lofthouse can stream forward with Walker out of position. And ball not given, but they have the ball anyway, the Knights. Quickly go back to those scores. Yes, half time between East and Gold Coast United. 1-1 at the break. And Capalaba, newly promoted side, are 1-0 up over Redlands in the 37th minute. So football well and truly back underway here in the southeast of the state. As the Knights getting their season underway this evening. They'll be happy with how it stands at the minute. And the man just on the ball, Makwase, he also would be happy with how things are going after getting on the score sheet. That ball had plenty on it from Walker, and Panetta couldn't find the touch, and it goes out for an Olympic throw-in now. As there's just a slight hold-up in proceedings here with Danny Morton going down, and give the chance for the players to just have a breather at the minute. As they were 1-0 up Olympic. Now 3-1 down, and well and truly in the box seat are the Knights. As I mentioned earlier, they've yet to record a victory over the Knights Have Olympic in a competitive match, that is. With the 3 meetings, 2 of them going the Knights' favour, and a draw last season in round 15. Now things back underway. Here's Hunter. Knights, they may not have got their season off when they would like to, but they did have an impressive pre-season, winning the inaugural pre-season club championship, and you knew from the performances and the results they dished up there that they were going to be a force yet again, and looking to improve on their second place finish from last season, just falling 4 points shy of Lions in first. There's going to be Ben Kahn going to his bench for the first time tonight, as we try and pick up those 2 substitutions. It was the number 12, Costas Saros, making way for the number 17, Danny Driver. And coming on for them 2 is the number 15, Kristen Waters. And the number 2, Shelford Deus. But it is now the Knights moving forward. Nichols, will he think about the shot? He was looking to release Makwase. Deus caught into action straight away, up to the task. Hoffman, Makwase, first time ball to Nichols is nice, as they're just looking to strut their stuff at the moment. The Knights, the switch from Nichols is nice as well, out to Walker. Infield to Nichols, here's Henvey, this is nice build-up play, there's a shot from Henvey off the crossbar, off the post, sorry, and out. Otherwise it was 4-1. That was really exciting play from the host. Given away cheaply by Martin. Here's Makwase. Makwase looking for a second. Shot away. Kumaneo falls to Brown, who hits it. This time well and truly over from Brown and into the car park from him. As Brown has pulled up, and he is in some discomfort. I think it's just cramp, but he is calling for some more attention. It looks like it is just cramp, so I think he should be okay to continue after a really stellar game tonight. The Knights number 10. As it was also the Knights who made their first substitution, with the number 12, Reece Lambert, coming on. And coming off for him was the number 4, Danny Morton, after he did just pick up that slight knock earlier on. Brown up to his feet now. Appears to be okay. Can't see anyone warming up on the Knights bench. Actually, I can. And just as I say that, Brown starts to limp off. So Gray Pittock is going to make his second substitution tonight, and it looks like it's Jaden Prasad out on that far side as Max Brown, the goal scorer, makes way for him. So both sides now have made 2 changes apiece. And we're right to get this contest back underway. As Waters has gone up front to just join Yinka Kahinde by the looks. So that'll be interesting to see what them two can produce as Deus now on the ball. Finds Leck. Back to the substitute in Deus. Too much on it from Waters. Back to Langdon. Puts his foot through it. Here's Henvey, who had that chance a moment ago. Solid challenge from Lassam. He's done well, the Olympic captain, but turns it over, but they get the ball back. Here is Yinka Kahinde. Into the box, Yinka Kahinde. As they're just looking to stand him up. He gets a shot away eventually. A lighter Yinka Kahinde, but wide of the mark and never going to trouble the Knights goalkeeper in Josh Langdon. Good defending in the end from the Knights, getting a number of players back there to just sort of stand him up and make sure that he had to retreat and couldn't go anywhere. He did well to get the shot away, but well wide of the mark from the former Holland Park man. Scored 12 goals in 15 matches last season for the Hawks. Stating before the start of the season that most teams will just break away from that because Lofthouse moving forward. Elmsworth does well back there. Yes, Yinka Kahinde just stating before the start of the season that most teams he's actually played with have always been underdogs, so it's such a blessing to play for a club like Olympic, who you know are going to be right up there come season's end, although they find themselves in a tricky spot tonight at the minute. Nichols it is. Forward looking for Henvey. The Scotsman lays it off for Nichols. There's Mundy and Deus coming in solidly. Throw in by Nichols. Usually high scoring affairs between these two sides, so it's no surprise to see another 4 goals so far added to the list tonight as Schmidt has the throw in. Makwase back to Lambert, the former Capalaba man, looking to strut his stuff in the NPL this season. Prasad to Makwase, nice ball to Walker, finds himself forward, challenge coming in there from Lofthouse. Some of the home fans wanted a penalty and eventually just bowled over by Henvey. Professional foul as he's going to receive the yellow card. The new signing for the Knights. I think he just wasn't happy that they didn't get the penalty initially on Lofthouse's challenge. I've got to say, from the angle that I was at, it did appear that he did win the ball. And then Henvey just bowled him over, was happy to take one for the team, ensuring that Lofthouse didn't break away. Martin to Kumaneo. Ito. Can they get a goal to set up a grandstand finish here, Olympic? Lofthouse. More central at the moment to Lassen. Waters. To Deus. Is there a finished product? It's nice build-up. Here's Leck. Back to Lofthouse, going this way and that way. It's nice play between the two. Leck, Yinka Kahinde gets a shot away. He's forced really wide though. He did get the shot away, but over the crossbar from him. But that was better from Olympic. It was nice build-up play, particularly between Lofthouse and Leck. Them two combining in a more central position. Not quite what Lofthouse is used to. As we see Josh Langdon just playing a few games, as the referee tells him to hurry things up. Henvey and Mundy battle. Makwase had the ball on a dime for a second there. Leck, Waters, falls to Leck again. This is promising. Daniel Leck. Can't find Lofthouse. Good interception by Walker. Lassam against Panetta. Referee did spot the tug of the shirt against Panetta on Lassam, so free kick to Olympic as they're just starting to edge their way back into the contest. Not on the scoreboard, but in the general run of play, you've got to say. Here's Panetta. Henvey as they stream forward, do the Knights. Falls to Makwase. Jessup Makwase, he's already got one. Looking for a second. Not testing Hunter on that occasion. Will we see another spectacular goal tonight after we've seen two absolute pearlers, if you're just joining us, from Max Brown and Mitch Nichols. Here's Lofthouse now, starting to become a bit stretched this game. Forward it goes, Yinka Kahinde. Is he onside? He is onside. Still he goes, Yinka Kahinde. Just that final touch letting him down, and Langdon, I can tell you, is not happy with the attention he received from the Olympic striker. But credit to him, he did get straight back up and was happy to play on straight away. It was a nice ball played through from Lofthouse. Just that final touch from Yinka Kahinde, letting him down, not giving him the chance to be able to even pull the trigger. Prasad out to Schmidt now. Plenty of space for him. Still he goes, Schmidt. Uses Makwase there. Back to Schmidt. Leck with the important challenge in there, and Schmidt puts it over the byline. As we have just under 20 minutes left in this game. It's going to have to be soon from Olympic if they're going to get something out of this match. Forward it goes. Did he claim the ball outside of the penalty area? The linesman, to his credit, was right on the line, so he had the best spot in the house, but a few of the Olympic players were claiming that Langdon did catch the ball outside of the area. Lassam does well to win the ball. Lambert back there. Forward it goes from him. Henvey does well. Headed back. Hunter's got to be careful because he's got Prasad breathing down his neck. He'll have to play at it eventually. Here's Mundy now. Back to the goal scorer. The two goal scorers combining in Nichols and this man Makwase. Out to Schmidt. Those two combine nicely just before to almost set up a chance. Nichols back to Hoffman. Back to Wellsmore. Been impressed with his game. Turn the ball over. Likewise to Olympic, and here's Prasad. Nichols, will he try another shot? Nichols lays it off to Schmidt instead. It's nice play. Tyson back there, Tyson Martin. Clears the ball out. There's Schmidt. Cross to take the throw in. To Lambert. He couldn't believe how free he was, the former Capalaba man. Henvey lays it off to Schmidt. Here is that man, Lambert, playing it to Hoffman. Gaining promotion with Capalaba last season, of course, Reece Lambert. Opting to change clubs this season to the Gold Coast Knights. And as things stand, they're getting their season off on the right note. As the referee just waited for the advantage, as he did spot a free kick on Yinka Kahinde. Well adjudicated from him on that occasion. Here's Ito. Mundy. Can't get past Prasad. The games are going to come thick and fast for the Knights, as they'll play that round one game that they were supposed to play. They'll play that on Tuesday night against the Brisbane Strikers from Perry Park. How about that for your two opening games? Olympic, then Brisbane Strikers. Tough ask, but they've been up to the task so far tonight, and if Olympic can't do something shortly, they're going to get all 3 points. Here's Leck, though, who's showing signs of potentially turning things around. Is he the one to get Olympic back into this contest? As they're not really going anywhere, the visitors out on that far side, so they retreat. Here's Ito now. To Waters. Pass has got too much on it, so Lofthouse and a few of the Olympic players just frustrated with themselves as they look to get back into this contest and hem the Knights into their own half. Walker with the throw-in out on that far side. Here's Lassam. Out to Martin. Up from defence. Leck, that man again. Nice little flick to Mundy. To Waters. He was also looking for the flick, and Leck in solidly on Hoffman on that occasion and gives away the free kick. But it's good from Daniel Leck. You've got to say he's just trying to lift. And he's trying to take his players with him as well. He is one man that is well and truly lifting out there. The former Brisbane Raw man. With Dandenong last season in the NPL Victoria, back in Queensland tonight. He needs more of his players with him though, if they're going to get back into this contest. Prasad sees the run of Henvey. Kumaneo's got to be careful. Still Henvey's there. Kumaneo does well to make up for his near error before that, and Ito shows his experience and sees it out for a goal kick. As we have just under 10 minutes remaining here at the Croatian Sports Centre. Some spectacular goals we've seen tonight. What else has this game got in store for us? Can Olympic get a goal to set up a game that is deserving of a finish, a grandstand finish? Lofthouse to Leck. Solid challenge from Wellsmore. The young centre-back, really impressed with his game tonight has showed some serious composure back there. You were worried with the Knights losing, as we just see Lambert lunging in late there on Lex, so a free kick in a dangerous position to Olympic. Yes, you were worried with the Knights losing Matt Smith and Oscar Dillon in the off-season, but what they were going to be like at the back. But Wellsmore, he's been rock solid tonight, and I've been thoroughly impressed with his performance. But for now, it's Olympic who have the attention, with Daniel Leck, the man single-handedly trying to urge his teammates back into the contest. In it goes from Leck. There's Martin in there. They get it clear momentarily. Do the Knights. It's going to come back in through Lassam though. There's Deus. As Wellsmore will just see the ball out. And wonders why he didn't get the free kick against the substitute in Shelford Deus. A goal kick that Josh Langdon will be in no rush to take, I'm sure. He's already had the one warning from the referee, so I'm sure he won't want to test his patience as he gets things moving now. Here is Leck. He's everywhere at the moment. Makwase with the trickery. Does well. Wanting the free kick, but the referee tells him to just keep playing. Here's Prasad. Uses Nichols, who's had a stellar game and has been absolutely everywhere. Defensively uneven, popping up with a spectacular goal. Forward it goes, playing a beautiful ball. The offside flag does go up. Credit to Lockie Hunter, nevertheless, for making a outstanding save, making himself big. Now Olympic get things moving quickly. Here's Yinka Kahinde. Waters, back to Lofthouse it goes. Jez Lofthouse, he's already got one. He's looking for a second and a third for the season. Shot blocked. Here is Deus now. Assistant waves his flag and Olympic will have the free kick. That man Leck again. Quick to step over the ball, and he wants to get on with things with players like Mundy and Waters in the middle. And it goes from Leck. It's disappointing from him after he's showed so much in this game. The new Olympic recruit. Throw in back to his skipper in Lassam. It's almost now or never for Olympic. Here's Martin. Schmidt clears. Panetta uses the fresh legs of Prasad. Jaden Prasad. Will he take on Mundy? Into the box, Prasad does well. Left foot strike. It's just wide from the substitute. That would have well and truly iced the game. Had Hunter worried, but Prasad just couldn't quite find it into the back of the net. And Olympic survived for the meantime. Lofthouse now. What have they got, Olympic? What have they got? Plenty of numbers forward. That's what they do have. If Martin could spot the run of Lofthouse, he was off on a merry dance. Kumaneo to Ito. Lofthouse does get the ball eventually, as Ito runs into a brick wall. Panetta. Lassam, he has also had a solid game, making some vital challenges when the Knights have wanted to counter. If you're just tuning in, it was before the goal to Jez Lofthouse. We had a power outage at about the 20th minute. Then this man on the ball, Jez Lofthouse, will just break away from that story momentarily as Olympic go forward. Here's Leck. Is he fouled? He is fouled. This is in a dangerous position, a lot closer to goal than what they've previously had have Olympic. Leck and Lofthouse seem very interested. What a time this would be for Lofthouse to step up and deliver when his side needs it. Can we see something special from him? As it appears he will be the one to strike it. With Kumaneo and Leck just standing in a strange position, I've got to say. So we could see anything here. Might not even be Lofthouse who will hit it. As Gray Pittock is going to go to his bench for the final time tonight with Nick Panetta going off, and it looks like it is the number 14 Gilly D'Souza coming on. So the new signing, another new signing for the Knights. What can Olympic do with this? Just over 5 minutes of regular time to play. Can we have a grandstand finish? It is Leck instead who hits it. Deflection, there's Waters in there. Diving save from Langdon. Well, and truly was not expecting that, and in the end, Waters with the header. As it is Leck across to take the corner. In it goes Deus, just trying the acrobatic attempt, and the Knights players can't believe they haven't got a goal kick. It's actually been given a corner, much to their disgust. Leck leaving it for Kumaneo so he can get himself in a more dangerous position. And it goes from Kumaneo. Numbers in there, it's Waters again. Far post, it was a difficult effort, you've got to say, off balance on the volley on that left foot. But it was a half chance. As the shot goes wide from him. They have lifted Olympic, but is it too little, too late from them? They scored late in the grand final, of course. This man on the ball, and they do get the handball to the Knights against Waters. He can't believe it. Forward it goes. Nice ball finding Makwase. Deus for attention. Thinks about skipping around him. He's done well to stand him up. Deus. Back to Schmidt. Nichols now. D'Souza, strong challenge from Kumaneo. Nice back heel as well, although he leaves it short. Deus. It's a nice ball for Yinki Kahinde, but Hoffman showing enough pace to get there ahead of the Olympic striker. It just hasn't fallen for him tonight. Late challenge coming in there from Waters on Wellsmore. And I can tell you, Gray Pittock, the Knights coach, is absolutely furious, as he's actually made his way over to the Olympic technical area, and he's got a few words to say as well. Waters with the yellow card, and Wellsmore back to his feet. So thankfully for him, he is A-OK. As yes, they're no stranger to late goals. Our Olympic against the Knights, of course, it was that man that just received the yellow card, Kristen Waters, who popped up with that 90th minute header in the grand final, of course, and they need another one here. Otherwise, it's the Knights who'll pick up all 3 points. As referee just having a chat to his assistant out on that far side. And having a chat to Gray Pittick, the Knights coach. Probably just telling him he's not allowed to go over to the Olympic technical area. But no card for him, just a talking to as we get things moving again through that man Wellsmore. Here's Ito. Yinka Kahinde wanted it played first time. He played it shorter instead to Lek. Now he gets the ball, Yinka Kahinde. Deus is on his bike. Still he goes, he's looking for players around him and gives the ball away, Yinka Kahinde, and it's a chance here for the Knights to break. As Henvey puts it out in front of Makwasa, who I can tell you is out on his feet. The former Lions man. Deus across with the strong tackle. Puts it out. As the Knights, as I mentioned, will play the Brisbane Strikers on Tuesday night. Then they'll be back here for the Gold Coast Derby. Sorry, they won't be back here, but they'll be versing Gold Coast United. As Lambert in amongst there. Out to Prasad. He's got the substitute in Gilly D'Souza. Man that played for Hobart in the Tasmanian Premier League last season. The American. Throw in for the Knights. Nice flick over. Finds Nichols. There's Makwase. In the end, it came off Martin, and not sure how much he knew about it, Hunter, but he made himself big to prevent a 4th goal. As we're counting down the seconds in injury time now for this contest, as it looks like the Knights are going to go out the victors and get the 3 points. Courtesy of some spectacular strikes to this man, Mitch Nichols and Max Brown. Schmidt. Waters got to be careful as he's on the yellow card. Out to Hoffman, thinks about the hit, does try the hit in the end. Off Martin, ball bobbling around. Here's Henvey in the end. Hits it and deflection, and it goes out for another corner. As Olympic doesn't get much easier for them. They're at home to the Peninsula Power in their next fixture. So tough start to the season from them. Here is Yinka Kahinde, still fighting. The speedster goes down. Free kick not given, and we play on, and it's that man still full of running, Mitch Nichols. Out there just wanting to keep possession. He's done so beautifully. Walker, Makwase. Out to D'Souza. Will he try the shot? He does try the shot. Well wide from the substitute. As Olympic get things moving quickly. Walker to Prasad again. Lofthouse has got 2 defenders there for attention and can't get past Walker, who's had a solid game at fullback. Down to his haunches now. A few of these players, I can tell you, are out on their feet. Understandable for this time in the season. Here's Lassam. As we're in the dying seconds of what has been a gripping night entertainment here at the Croatian Sports Centre. Some resilience shown from the Knights after going 1-0 down. Here's Leck. Enjoyed watching him strut him stuff, the former Brisbane Roar man. Back to Lofthouse. Definitely have showed signs, those two, that they are going to be a handful this season. Once they get it going, you feel they could be a serious proposition. Nice little flick from Ito. Falls to Lofthouse somehow. Gets a shot away, but blocked by Wellsmore. Not much time left as the referee looks at his watch, and that might almost do it. Here's Leck again. Forced to retreat to Mundy. Solid coming together between he and Lambert. Back to Leck. There's Wellsmore just bowled over by Yinka Kahinde, and he's in the wars at the moment, the young Knights centre-back. He will well and truly sleep well tonight, I'm sure, and be happy with the performance that he has dished up out here tonight. Here's Hunter. Even though they're 3-1 down, he's had a solid game, has Lockie Hunter. He's made some impressive saves when he's had to. Not much he could do about those two tremendous strikes from Nichols and Brown. Here's Nichols to Henvey, to Souza on his bike. Might just be slightly overhit from Henvey. It is. He apologises to his teammate, and there is the full-time whistle. There's round 3 contest of the National Premier League. Queensland has gone the way of the Gold Coast Knights, who have come up trumps in their first game of the season, defeating Olympic 3-1 after going down early to a strike from Jez Lofthouse. They well and truly bounced back with the strike to Max Brown, and then Jessam McQuarrie, and a sensational effort that I'm sure will feature in the goals of the week to their captain, Mitch Nichols, who for me was one of the mans of the match. A terrific contest here on the Gold Coast, as it is going to be the Knights who'll get their season off to a winning start. Thank you all for joining us as the Knights go out victors 3-1 over Olympic.